You've always felt it, something beneath your skin, a quiet ache in the hollow spaces of your chest. You sense the world's chaos, the unspoken pain of others, and try to hold it all like an invisible weight pressing into your bones. You've learned to read the room, to feel what's hidden behind the smiles, the masks, the words. But lately, that sensitivity feels more like a curse, a gift that's turned into a burden. The more you absorb, the more distant you feel from your own voice, your own heart. It's as if the darkness you're so attuned to consumes you, not out there, but inside. And somewhere deep down, you wonder what happens when your empathy becomes a mirror for everything you've never faced. What if this sacred gift is also the quietest, most relentless shadow of all? Maybe you thought if you just pushed harder, meditated more, or ignored the weight inside, the numbness wouldn't come? But now that very numbness feels like the walls are crumbling, and you're left with an emptiness that's hard to name. It's as if the identity you once clung to is dissolving, slipping through your fingers like smoke. And in that space, a paradox appears. The more you try to grasp what's left, the more distant it becomes. This discomfort isn't failure, it's a sign of something fundamental shifting. Like the end of a story you no longer recognize, it's an invitation to let go of the old version of yourself, the one built on chasing external approval or avoiding inner chaos. Perhaps this is what some call awakening, a death of what once defined you, a shedding of the masks that no longer fit. There's a strange beauty in this disintegration because it's the quiet birth of something new, something unfiltered by illusion. The numbness, the confusion, these are not signs of malfunction. They are the space between worlds. The silent pause before rebirth. What you're feeling now is the crucial moment where the old persona is falling away, making room for a deeper, truer self to emerge. What if this silence you feel is not the end, but a sacred space of becoming? Carl Jung whispered that true transformation begins in the dark, where the shadows reside. It's in these depths that the old self dissolves, not to vanish, but to be reborn like lead turning slowly into gold through alchemy. The pain, the numbness, the loss of certainty, they are the crucible. A silent death of the ego, a funeral for the identity built on illusion. Yet, in this funeral, something more profound stirs. The true self, ancient and resilient, waits beneath the rubble of the false surface. The cocoon is fragile, but it is also the birthplace of wings. This moment, this liminal space, is where the old stories fall away, revealing that you are not lost, but in the process of becoming. The darkness is not a void, it's a womb. The silence, not emptiness, but the quiet hum of the soul preparing to emerge. The myth tells us that the hero's journey begins not when everything is clear, but when everything falls apart. And in that collapse, a seed is planted, hope, not as a promise of easy answers, but as a gentle reminder, you are not broken. You are in the sacred act of transformation. This is the stillness before rebirth, the moment where the shadow whispers the truth. You are not ending. You are simply shedding what no longer serves, making space for what's truly yours to rise. You stand in this quiet space, caught between who you once were and who you're beginning to become. It's as if you're in the dark, waiting for a dawn that doesn't quite arrive yet. But beneath this stillness lies a hidden force, your shadow, an unseen part of you that whispers in the silence. According to Jung, this shadow is the repressed self, those traits, fears, and truths you've pushed into the darkness to survive. It's the part you refuse to face, the buried fire that's been smothered by layers of doubt and shame. This numbness you feel isn't just emptiness, it's a fortress built around your pain, a wall that keeps your true self hidden. You may sense that there's more beneath the surface, emotions locked behind a wall of silence, memories waiting to break free. Maybe you feel disconnected from your desire, as if your passions have been swallowed up by the shadows you refuse to acknowledge. It's as if you buried your fire deep within, thinking it was too dangerous to tend. Now that an acknowledged part of you is trying to speak, trying to surface through cracks in your carefully constructed con. This isn't just fog, it's the echo of your own buried truth, seeking light. Recognize it not as an enemy, but as a vital part of your journey toward wholeness. It's as if your identity has fractured, torn between two worlds. On one side, your ego clings to the familiar rule: survival, success, the masks you've worn for so long. It remembers the roles it's played, the ways it's been praised or punished. On the other side, a quiet whisper grows louder: your true self, calling you toward authenticity, truth, and wholeness. This emerging voice is unclear, often conflicting, stirring confusion and resistance. You want to move forward, to break free, yet something pulls you back. Your body feels tense, anchored in the past, while your soul yearns for something more. Stillness becomes uneasy, silence a source of anxiety. You long for clarity but are haunted by doubt. You question, who am I really? Guilt creeps in as old patterns slip away and shame whispers that you're failing. Grief arises for the self that's fading, for the parts you're leaving behind. But remember, this split is not dysfunction. It's the sacred breaking of an inner shell, an essential step in becoming whole. You are not failing, you are mid-transformation, caught in the tension that precedes rebirth. This internal conflict, though painful, is the doorway to alignment and integration. It's a sign you are awakening and the true journey has only just begun. But what if this tension within you isn't the end of your story, but the very beginning of something more profound? This chaos you feel, the swirling disarray, doesn't signify failure or loss. Instead, it is the sacred alchemy of transformation, a vital stage of inner rebirth. You're not breaking apart, you're breaking open. Like the roots of a tree pushing through the earth, the old layers are shedding, making space for new growth. Healing isn't about erasing the past, it's about weaving it into a new, more resilient fabric. Think of your psyche as an organic structure, an intricate architecture built from the raw materials of you. Our fears, truths, and shadows. Jung described this process as bringing the unconscious into conscious awareness, a form of inner alchemy where pain is transformed into presence. This chaos is the soil in which your true self begins to emerge, allowing the fragmented parts to find their place in a larger, unified whole. In this sacred reorganization, confusion becomes inner clarity, guilt signals the need for authentic values, and emptiness is the fertile space for truth to grow. No transformation happens in comfort. Growth often wears the mask of grief. When your soul reorganizes you, it feels like falling apart, yet underneath, it's a deeper coming together. Trust this process. The next chapter is the emergence of clarity, new values, and authentic alignment. Instead of wearing masks that hide your truth, you're learning to become transparent, to live in alignment with what truly resonates within you. This process is deeply creative. It's about sculpting a self rooted in your inner truth, a fluid, evolving essence that responds to your present reality. Think of it as constructing a vessel that holds your authenticity, flexible enough to change, solid enough to anchor you. Your values shift from external validation to internal resonance. Choices become guided by intuition rather than obligation. Motivations are driven by what feels true, not what's expected. Inspired by Jung's journey toward individuation, Maetz's return to authenticity, and Nietzsche's focus on self-creation, this is a dance of becoming. You might say no to relationships that demand performance, leave jobs that clash with your core, or pick up hobbies simply because they call to your soul. This is real freedom, not chaos, but conscious creation. You're not reinventing yourself, you're revealing yourself, step by step, as you prepare to reconnect with the world through purpose and genuine expression. You move through your days more slowly, more intentionally, choosing moments, that resonate with your truth. You speak with honesty, even if your voice trembles, because your words now carry the weight of authenticity. You create without asking for permission, allowing your expression to flow freely, an act of courage and trust. You walk away from roles that no longer honor your soul, feeling a gentle peace in simplicity, no longer hungry for applause or validation. This is a response, not a reaction, a conscious participation in life's unfolding. You attract relationships that reflect your truth and release those rooted in performance or need. Your life becomes a living art, a sacred offering of presence and purpose. Remember, your truth is medicine when shared. It heals and awakens others. This is the moment where healing transforms into transmission, and your embodied authenticity becomes a light for those still searching. As you step into this sacred dance of outward engagement, prepare to enter a realm of symbols, intuition, and soulful participation where life itself becomes a canvas of divine expression. Gut feelings become compass points, guiding your steps with quiet certainty. In moments of stillness, art and nature seem to speak directly to your soul, offering insights not through words, but through resonance and presence. According to Carl Jung, this is the realm of the symbolic life, a state where the world is no longer seen solely through the lens of logic, but through metaphor, archetype, and synchronicity. It's not superstition, it's a deep intelligence that connects us to our collective unconscious and to the core of ourselves. As Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. When you live symbolically, you stop asking for signs outside yourself. You begin to see them everywhere, a pattern in the clouds, a recurring number, a song that echoes your inner truth. This way of perceiving requires stillness, trust, and a willingness to embrace not knowing. It invites you to participate in life's mystery, listening with your whole being rather than just your mind. The symbolic life is a sacred dialogue, a gentle invitation to co-create meaning with the universe. And as you deepen into this subtle art, you prepare to express your authentic self beyond performance through contribution, intention, and soulful legacy. You've awakened to a new awareness, transforming inner fears into a profound understanding of your unique purpose. Now, your truth is ready to be shared, not as a performance to impress, but as a genuine presence that lights the way for others. True contribution isn't about perfection or applause. It's about showing up fully, imperfectly, and consistently, infusing your everyday actions with authenticity and love. This can manifest in countless ways, creating projects that echo your soul's voice, healing and helping others through your lived experience, mentoring with compassion, or simply embodying kindness and integrity in your relationships and work. As Jung reminds us, individuation culminates in a service to the collective when the integrated self becomes a bridge that unites inner wisdom with outer action. Embracing this path requires courage, letting go of fears of judgment or rejection, and stepping beyond comfort zones into the fullness of your being. Remember, your story, your lessons, your gifts are needed now more than ever. When you step into your truth, you illuminate a path others can follow. Legacy isn't about grandeur, it's about the ripples your presence creates in the lives you touch. This is not the end, but a new beginning, an ongoing journey of growth, expression, and service. Embrace your awakened self, and let your life become a sacred work of art and service.